Okay, it's 7:10 p.m. and no one's here yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and start the recording now, and then we can look at the recording later. So this is module 5 of this course, the second to the last module for this course, and we're going over step 6. The agenda is an overview, additional templates and resources, discussion, board topics, virtual assignments and project reports, review, monitoring requirements, configuration management, security control monitoring, change documentation, security impact analysis, security status reporting, ISCM's ultimate goal, that's the information systems continuous monitoring's ultimate goal, and effective communication tips. So this is where we are on step 6, monitoring. And primary publications are NIST 800-137, NIST 800-37, 800-30, and the Risk Management Framework Knowledge Board. This would be a discussion topic for this part of the class. Just consider these when you're looking at this video. Think about what you learned about security controls and what readings contributed to that, and what key information applies to the security status. This is the substeps of step 6. It's got we go through system and environmental changes, ongoing control assessment, ongoing remediation actions, key updates, security status reporting, ongoing risk determination and acceptance, and system removal and decommissioning. And that's the cycle for continuous monitoring, which is supposed to be a continuous cycle that goes on indefinitely until the system is decommissioned. There are actually 4 virtual field trips in this class. I'll email them to you so that you can watch them at your leisure, and I'll do that after this class. So the monitoring overview. What is monitoring? And according to NIST SP 800-137, information security continuous monitoring for federal information systems and organizations, information continuous monitoring is maintaining ongoing awareness of information security, vulnerabilities, and threats to support the organization's risk management decisions. Why do we do continuous monitoring? It's to ensure the state of deployed security controls continues to be effective over time, and if it's done robustly, it eliminates the 3-year reauthorization requirement, which hasn't really taken on yet, but hopefully it will soon. It enables knowledge of the security posture of monitored systems in near real time. It helps decision makers identify and focus on critical items to ensure they are remediated. And of course, it's required. So key documents I went over earlier. There's a number of key documents that provide guidance for continuous monitoring. NIST Special Publication 800-37 Rev 1 is the guide for applying the risk management framework to federal information systems security lifecycle approach. That's the big one. That's the one that says everything about it. Well, that's the introduction to risk management framework. NIST Special Publication 800-137, which is the information security continuous monitoring for federal information systems and organizations. So as you can see there, there's that acronym ISCM that you'll see over and over again for continuous monitoring. Continuous monitoring ConOps, it's in development right now. Hopefully that'll be another piece of information that will help guide you through the continuous monitoring process. DoD Information Security Continuous Monitoring Strategy, which is also in development. and the United States government concept of operations for information security continuous monitoring version 1. What requires monitoring? Well, pretty much everything that has to do with the system. The controls that you first apply to the system, that is what needs to be continuously monitored. Monitoring the security controls in the information system on an ongoing basis includes maintaining configuration control and management, assessing control effectiveness, documenting changes to the system or its environment of operations, conducting security impact analysis of any changes, and reporting the security state of the system to designated organizational officials like the AO. And this should be largely automated, especially when you have systems like ACAS that automatically inform who you tell it to inform. So configuration management is a big piece of this puzzle because you want to make sure that anytime that something's changed in the system, if there's a security impact, that it's evaluated and that risks and vulnerabilities are reduced when it happens, or at least analyzed. So configuration management, before we can monitor our controls, we need to know what controls we have, which we already know because we went through that in the first 5 steps. How they're configured. By this time you should know that. What are our systems and where are our systems? Configuration management is defined in NIST SP 800-137 as a process for controlling modifications to hardware, firmware, software, and documentation to protect the information system against improper modifications before, during, and after system implementation. Configuration management operationally, one second. Configuration management is best obtained through maximizing the use of automated mechanisms. There are plenty of them out there, too many to go through, but there's even automated mechanisms that push out an entire gold standard build for a system. So like where we work right now, where I work right now, they can just simply connect to a main server from a particular workstation, tell it to start a build, and it installs everything that the gold standard tells it to install in the system, including the operating system and anything else that is deemed necessary for that workstation. Automated tools can monitor and maintain configuration settings, system changes, component status, and perform asset management functions. And they can also push out updates when an update comes out for a particular system or operating system or application. It can push out updates that come out for that. Okay, security content automation protocol, monitoring compliance of each information system component and its configuration. If the information system contains information technology components for which there exists SCAP, we're talking about SCAP now, which is security control or security content automation protocol. If the information system contains information technology components for which there exist SCAP validated tools, those tools should be used to monitor the component's configuration. This is STIG SCAP baseline benchmarks you can find at this particular web address, which is isc.disa.mil. There's a lot of stuff on disa.mil, but this is where you would go find the SCAP for STIGs. And if you are watching this video and you need me to send you that link, I can do that. Just let me know, or you can copy it here. Security control automation protocol. Again, we're talking about SCAP. SCAP consists of a suite of specifications, standardizes the format and nomenclature for security software to communicate information about security configuration software flaws. Now we're going to talk about control effectiveness. Which security controls do we monitor? Decisions belong to information system owners and common control providers and approved by the AO or the AODR. AO is the approval authority or the approval authority designated representative. Considerations for this are the categorization of the system and importance to organizational mission, recent risk assessments and threat environment, volatility of security control, and how often will the control change, effectiveness of security control, does the control have a known weakness, an impact of security control, how important is the control in relation to threats. So monitoring common controls. Common controls are those like, for example, the security policy, the physical security policy, and physical security for the building that your system is housed in, for example. Common controls are subject to the same continuous monitoring requirements as system-specific security controls employed in individual organizational information systems. Each common control provider is responsible for continuous monitoring of the security control it provides. The plan of action and milestone is developed and maintained for common controls that are discovered through assessment to be less than effective. Security content automation protocol. Again, we're talking about SCAP. Monitoring compliance of each information system component and its configuration. If the information system contains information technology components for which there exists SCAP validated tools, those tools should be used to monitor the component's configuration. Seems like we've already gone through that. But anyway, there again is this is STIG SCAP and the link to that. So continuous monitoring misnomers. Continuous monitoring does not literally mean monitoring each control continuously. Obviously, that would be impossible to do. Some technical controls are monitored on a near real-time basis, continuously. Controls are monitored in accordance with the monitoring plan established in Step 2 of the Risk Management Framework. That's true. However, monitoring, management, and operational controls continuously would be essentially meaningless, like the pink one there says. So how do we monitor? Basically, we monitor is exactly how we said that we were going to monitor in the configuration and the continuous monitoring plan that we created in Step 2. Methods of monitoring vary by class of security control. Management controls, reviews of pertinent documentation, and interviews with knowledgeable staff. So management controls like policies, you would want to pretty much put that in the continuous monitoring plan as something that you would check annually and have signed off that it was checked. Operational controls, interviews with in order to do this, you would conduct interviews with knowledgeable staff. Technical controls are best monitored by automated mechanisms, configuration management, and SCAP. Automation can be applied anywhere, except for like documentation, Create automated mechanisms to monitor for document changes. So that's kind of difficult to do, but it's possible. Configuration management processes offer a rich source of operational and management change information. Here's the information system control monitoring and the risk management framework and how they intersect. It's a pretty good graphic. I'll leave this here for a second. It shows the start for each one of them. So documenting changes. This is where configuration management comes in and documenting any changes to the system. Usually there's a configuration control board that's in place at the organization, and they monitor and approve or disapprove any changes that are recommended by anyone in the organization. So information system changes. Information system changes can come from a variety of sources, including hardware or software upgrades, changes to the mission, tasking changes, including new information types, POA&M item resolution, newly discovered vulnerabilities, new adversary tactics, techniques, and procedures, and other newly identified risks. So documenting changes. Information system changes must be documented in the system security plan. Changes requiring resolution of an outstanding issue must be documented in the POA&M. Resolution of POA&M items is documented in the POA&M. Risk-related changes are documented in the SSP or risk assessment, if one exists, for the system. All changes must be documented in security status reports provided to the AO to maintain an ongoing awareness of the security status of the system. Okay, security impact analysis. During the change management process, if a change impacts security, the CCB, which is the Configuration Control Board, must evaluate and address any security risk introduced by the change. Here's how the security impact analysis works. You have to have an understanding of the change in the system, change request. You have to identify vulnerabilities that the proposed change may introduce, assess risks to the information system, system users, and organization's mission, business functions, assess security controls that are impacted by the proposed change, plan safeguards and countermeasures to the identified impacts, and update official security documentation to reflect the changes made to the information system. The process for a security impact analysis consists of these steps that I just went over. Security status reporting. Reporting information security monitoring. Results of monitoring need to be documented in security status reports and reported to the AO and the CISO periodically as defined in policies or guidelines. Results of the monitoring effort need to be reflected in updates to the system security plan, the system assessment report, and the risk assessment report, if applicable. There's going to be a SAR and there's going to be a RAR, but changes might not have to be made in it. And the POA&M. The AO periodically reviews the security status reports for organizational information systems to determine the current security risk of the system to operations and assets, individuals, other organizations, or the nation. Responsibility of the AO to determine with appropriate input from the CISO whether the current security risk is acceptable and to forward appropriate direction to information owners, information system owners. And the ultimate goal is to have a robust, properly implemented continuous monitoring program that allows for the ongoing authorization of an information system and eliminate the 3-year reauthorization requirement eventually. The OMB Memorandum M-14-03 states, rather than enforcing a static point-in-time reauthorization process, agencies shall conduct ongoing authorizations of their information systems and environments in which those systems operate, including common controls, through the implementation of their risk management process. Any questions on those? And that's the end of this class. So I'm gonna upload this recording and you'll have access to it within the next day or so. So if there's any questions, just get with me and let me know.